Greetings, fellow travelers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to No Man's Sky, Episode 2, To Space. Oh, is that a cave system I can use? Yes, it is. Oh, that's a humming sack. Yeah, I'm not touching that. Sodium in that. So there is some hazard flora down here that might give me carbon. Can you farm resources later on? Yes, you can set up automatic mining and atmospheric skimming, and there's a whole bunch of ways to farm resources. Oxygen. No, these only give oxygen and sodium. I'm incorrect about that. I thought they gave carbon. It might be possible to find plants down here, though. My guess is, if I was to take a wild stab, the carbon on this planet is probably ocean-based carbon. It's probably ocean plants. Because these, what looks like shelf mushroomy things, can't be mined either. Pulpy roots, that's not right. Pulpy roots, if you're wondering, is a food ingredient. Yeah, I think at this point, my best bet is to just check these random crates. I got 33 of it from that random crate. Now, if you're wondering, normally you would start on a planet covered in trees, or something vaguely resembling what a tree would look like. And this is just a uniquely harsh planet to start on. This is not a representation of what a typical start would look like. Most cold planets actually do have trees as well. A lot of them will have actually very pretty trees. We'll have like alpine-looking trees or boreal-looking trees. Just my RNG is, oh, here's a plant! I got enough! Yeah! So there's my carbon nanotube. Go to the multi-tool. And analysis visor is on. So now, with the analysis visor, I can hold F and point it at stuff, whether it's animals, minerals, or plants. And if it highlights, I can scan it, and it will give me units. The units magically arrive in my bank account, and they're a reward for discovering, you know, new things, species or animal life. All right. It also tells me where my ship is. So I'm like 10 minutes away from my ship because I was wandering so far for carbon. I have a little kind of a long trek back home. Yes, things that you discover can either be uploaded for nanites, or they can also be renamed yourself, but you forgo the nanite reward. I generally don't rename things, not even planets. I like to name things the way they were, and not to leave my thumbprint too much on the world, or on the universe. And yes, there is an upload all option to just blanket upload everything that you've discovered. That would be, here, upload all. Because I've only discovered a few things. It's not a lot of nanites that I gain access to. Ooh, life support gel. So life support gel, kind of like an ion battery, will fully recharge my life support. Single use, but still nice to have. So with my current life support, I can just wait until it's almost depleted and then hit the gel. That shiny thing over there is terrestrial resources. So if I use the analysis visor, it is copper. I don't have the proper mining tool to get that. But this planet will have... I could also use the analysis visor to figure out other things. So there's like frozen tubers over there, there's cobalt, there's copper, more frozen tubers, so on and so forth. Buried technology modules, which I don't, again, if it's buried, I don't have terrain deformation tools, but the analysis visor is a very useful tool. And the Awakenings quest line that you start off with, might as well grab these, will give you a whole bunch of like really useful starting tools. Which is why I'm not skipping it. Alright, let's use... I'm lucky I hadn't had a storm again. I probably just jinxed it. Oh, someone just warped in. Oh, yeah, hi. Bye. No, I'm on single player mode, so all of the other ships that you see are just NPCs. The game launched without multiplayer, but it has proper multiplayer now. Fully co-op, if you want. Shared base, everything. Well, that's a pretty cool looking frigate. Oh, here's the carbon plant that I mined. I honestly probably... Wow, I got a lot of carbon off that. Holy moly. Those things are massively carbon rich. Probably to make up for the fact that there's, like, none of them. And they're very hard to find, considering how small they are. But I got so much carbon off that thing, it was, like, equivalent to an entire tree, or 5 trees worth of carbon, to put that in perspective. It was a lot. Oh, here's another. Yeah, 109 carbon? Holy hell. Honestly, I'm sure I passed up on a whole lot of those, not even realizing there were micro plants chock full of carbon. And it's quick cut too, yeah. It's too bad there's a density of them. Right, I'm gonna use the life support gel. Nothing like grabbing one of the yeehaw plants. Right, buddy? You know, I'm just going to be blue, match the environment. Can't wait to get off this planet. So the frozen tubers are just like a cooking ingredient, but they're, they can net some money when you're poor early on. Oh, my jetpack ran out. That was a hard landing. When it's low, you can just hit X to refill it. You mean like just hit E for quick charge? I think you might be confused about the bind. Either that or you're talking about console. I haven't actually played this game on console, so it might be... They might have modified it to be a little bit less stringent about how to do things on console. Hey, bud. Tusky, you want treats too? All right, finally. What a journey for the hermetic seal. So next, in order to launch, we need dihydrogen jelly and pure ferrite. I already have the dihydrogen for the dihydrogen jelly. And then I'm giving a blueprint for a portable refiner for the ferrite. So the portable refiner requires metal plating and oxygen. And once you make one, you don't have to make others because you can just bring it around with you. You just pick it up once you're done using it. So here's the little portable refiner. And I need pure ferrite. So in the fuel inverter, I'll put carbon and then put ferrite dust. I'm not even going to bother refining 11 ferrite dust. I need 50, so I might as well just get the ferrite dust first. Also, it's worth noticing there's a overheat for the mining tool on the top right. If you overheat your tool, it goes on cooldown for a while. So it's best to use as much heat as you can and then let it cool off before overheating. Or you're slapped with a bit of a longer cooldown. All right. And now it's refining. Because while that's refining, I'll recover my hazard protection in the ship.
Technology recharge.
Cocos, thank you for the resub. You'll ever work? It's completely rad? Well, why thank you. Oh, also, if your mining tool ever runs out of charge and you don't have carbon left over, you can Q punch trees for carbon, like you're Steve from Minecraft. I mean, if you have to. And I get the carbon resources back as a result of doing that. All right, so that... Oh, I traveled 8,000 units. The pure ferrite will allow me to repair the launch systems. And we can take off. I also prefer to be third person in the cockpit. It's less dizzying. To space. So I discovered a Lasso Tur 7 system. Here's the planet I was on. It's a Hyperborean planet. Hyperborean planet with dioxide, cobalt, copper, and frost crystals. A very typical cold planet. Just one that had, like, no trees. And it's not likely to be the only thing in the system. In fact, there's almost no solar systems with like, wow, this is a packed solar system. Holy hell. It's got like 6? Yeah. No, 5. That's an asteroid. Still might have 6. Now, there's still more to the Awakenings questline, and I'll be doing more of it. This planet straight up ahead is a metallic one. This one is an unstable one, even though it looks like a blue gem. This one looks toxic or radioactive. Oh, flourishing! In air quotes. Flourishing, but with aggressive sentinels. So flourishing would be a lush one, but aggressive sentinels means it's pretty much uninhabitable because the sentinels are just like kill on sight. And I know about my communicator, I'm just ignoring it for now. This planet is another cold one like I was just on. And this one is a bubbling planet. It probably is actually covered in weird floating bubbles. There might be a celestial body behind Rubea, which is what I discovered, but let's answer the communicator. Incoming transmission. Please identify yourself. And then it goes static. You are not alone. Follow the broadcast ends as strangely as it begins. The final piece of the signal appears to be a set of planetary coordinates.
Alert. Navigational data received.
Please don't be on that same stupid planet I was on. It is not. It's on the flourishing one full of aggressive sentinels. Oh, that's somehow worse. Oh, I don't have weapons on my multi-tool, so sentinel fights is not exactly going to be easy. David, thank you for the resub, by the way. So all lush or paradise planets will have star bulbs as a plant resource. The cold planets will have the frostwort. Hot planets will have selenium or whatever it's called, and radioactive planets will have the gamma weed. So this is a lush planet, but it is, because of the aggressive sentinels, it's not what we're looking for a colony. Aggressive sentinels is a disqualifying modifier for our habitable search. And then there's other disqualifying modifiers, which would be intense storms. So one obvious tell of intense storms is, see how it says copper? If that copper instead read as activated copper, that would be an indicator that the planet has intense storms. Because you only get activated metals on planets with horrible storms. When you land on the planet, it will also give you a little readout of its weather as well. So once we land, we can see if it has bad storms. But because of the aggressive sentinels, it's not like we're going to settle here anyway. So there should be a point of interest somewhere nearby. Oh, well, there's a trade center here. It's probably not what we're looking for. Maybe this. No, probably not this either. But whatever, we'll land here. So the sentinels, the weather here is temperate, which means that it not likely storms. It's not a guarantee that it won't storm. It's just not likely to storm when it says temperate, but the sentinels are malicious, which means they're going to be like kill on sight.
Extreme Sentinel planet.
And the game's warning me of the Extreme Sentinel planet. This planet looks cool. It's like bioluminescent. Oh, there's a sentinel over there. As you can see, the little white indicator. Let's get inside before it gets all freaky. Ah, a beach here. So this is an indicator of like another multi-tool that I could pick up. This one has a turbocharged slot here. It's B class. I don't have the money for it. There's some other things to loot in here, like encrypted data, and this restores my shields. This is a galactic trade terminal where I can buy and sell things. So I can sell like my platinum that I have, and my frozen tubers. These are the Gek. They are one of 3 or 4 species that you'll find. The small creature is busy adding up the trade profits when I appear. Sensing me, their eyes widen in anticipation, and they rub their fingers together greedily. I don't speak their language, so I have no idea what he just said. The lifeform pecks emphatically at the monetary figures on their pad, and then bounces up and down. A pleasant aroma fills the air, and an echo of the floral scent drenches this lush world. I am going to pat them on the head. There's a long silence. The trader emits a foul-smelling gas. Yeah, that's probably not the right response. And then this is a tech merchant. So this tech merchant will buy and sell components and blueprints. So here, as you can see, there's microprocessors, hermetic seals, if I needed hermetic seals, glass, so on and so forth, and sell. And then they also have blueprints as well. So I'll show you that. So for nanites, I can get these blueprints, and these are not like, these are just generalized unlocks. So like the oxygen recycler I already know, because I already have that installed on my exosuit. And the Awakenings quest line gives you some of that stuff, which is why I haven't, why I'm doing it. Because I landed on a landing pad, I can take off for free, rather than using the fuel in my launch thrusters, which is good. So, according to the game, using my analysis visor, the marker is somewhere roughly to the northeast of the point of interest I need to go to. So it's like kind of this way, 800 units. So it should be up ahead soon. Maybe that? And I'm... Oh, God. Really? Why is there a... What? I don't think it's this! There's also... Okay. Yeah, I overshot it. It's now south of me. There's, like, walkers here. No, thanks. Alright, we'll try that trade beacon. Maybe the trade station was the point of interest. Or I'm overlooking it somehow. Can you learn languages? You can, yes. You can fully learn 4 different languages in this game. The Gek is one of 3 primary species, but then there's like a 4th language that you can learn not related to species, really. And in fact, if we wanted to learn, all I would have to do is walk up to these Gek and then request dialect help, and it'll teach me a word. So I'm going to choose a mystery symbol. So he just taught me the Gek word for the. And each time that I interact with a new one, that is not a... So these are like just generic NPCs that are at a trade port. Anytime I talk to like generic NPCs that are not star pilots, like this guy is, they will teach me new words, or at least give me the option to learn new words. Now, because this is a trade center, you also have like ships landing. So for instance, if I walked up to this pilot here, I can trade with the pilot. Some of the prices are good, some are bad. I can sell things if from my own inventory and from my ship if my ship is close enough. And then I can also buy their ships. This is a C-class ship, but it has tons of cargo. But as you can see, it's way, way above my ability to pay for. It costs 11 million units. And every ship that lands, you can buy. There is different types of ships. There's like fighters and cargo and exotic living. There's even living ships and sentinel ships. And I'm not upgrading my ship right now. I'm just searching for this POI. So 600 units behind me. Do I have a favorite? My favorite is the sentinel ships. By like huge margin. But exotic ships can be good. Same with the sail ships can be good too. I'm just gonna park where it tells me to park and find it on foot. I don't care if I have to recharge my my launch thrusters. Okay, immediately there's a sentinel that is trying to sniff me out, so I'm gonna run away from it so it doesn't get all hostile and sick other sentinels on me, because I am in no position to fight right now. Solar ships are the best looking? Oh, I don't know. There's some sentinel ships that look amazing. On one of my other saves, I have a sentinel ship that looks awesome. And I have some exotic ships that look pretty cool too. It's this way. Oh, there it is. No wonder I didn't see it from space. It's a... looks like nothing. But we're here. Now, the beauty of being on this Lust planet, as you can see, my hazard protection has not been used. I don't have to use... It's not hot, it's not cold, it's not radioactive, it's not toxic, so I can be here without problem. No fuel in, fail to reach the station, hazard protection, low, no choice but to underground, deployed base computer. As well as the log entry, the signal contains plans for a base computer and a terrain manipulator. With any luck, the base computer will hold more information about whoever is leaving these messages. So now I know how to make a base computer and a terrain manipulator. So let's go ahead and get the terrain manipulator first. That requires 2 carbon nanotubes and dihydrogen jelly. I need 4 more dihydrogen for the jelly. Which is going to be any of these hydrogen crystals. There's some right here. Done. Alright, and luckily this planet seems to be a lot easier to get carbon than the one I was on. How did I know that the Sentinel was after me? You'll have these little, like, crescent-shaped rings pointing in the direction of the detection, letting you know that you're being watched. And that's of Sentinels and also of hostile creatures as well. Sometimes predators will try to eat you. Okay, terrain manipulation tool is obtained. So what this thing allows you to do is dig, essentially. It also allows you to put terrain back, but I'll show you the digging part. So R and T changes the reticle size. Pressing T twice widens it to its maximum, which is really good for excavating tunnels. And then R, making it really small, is really good for excavating resources. So if you're at a resource node, use R. If you're just trying to dig a big tunnel, use T. There's also different modes. So I can also create stone, provided I have the requisite material in my inventory. I can also flatten, too, to make things perfectly flat. And then restore it to the way it was, so that you can undo any terrain damage that you did. It's also worth noting that there's a maximum terrain complexity for the bases that you have, meaning that you can't overly modify your base's terrain because eventually you'll run out of base complexity. It's so that the game doesn't explode as you try to make like mega caves or something like that. Now there are naturally occurring mega caves that do exist in the game, however. So the other thing that I'm trying to make here is the gather copper for... Yeah, okay. So I need to gather copper and refine it into chromatic metal for the base computer. I don't think there's actually... Is there copper on this planet? Yeah, there is. Okay. So there's copper over this way. Each planet will have like 3 or 4 different. See, that's a sentinel. You can sort of see the crescent modifier, the crescent thing around me. So typically when sentinels aren't hyper aggressive, they will only attack you if you kill animals or resource mine. So if you are breaking down stones or trees or mining terrain or killing animals, that pisses them off. But I'm on a hyper aggressive sentinel planet, meaning that they're just going to attack me for funsies even if I'm doing nothing. If they do attack you, you can either fight them, but every time you fight them, much like games like Grand Theft Auto, there are like difficulty rating systems. So if you fight and defeat the first wave, you're going to get 4 more waves until you get wave number 5, which is like a mega wave of sentinels. The same is true in space. You can piss sentinels off when you're flying around in space, and the last wave is obviously harder than the first 4, so only really do it if you're absolutely prepared. Alternatively, you can just hide. So one really easy thing to do is to use the terrain modifying tool to just dig yourself into a cave and hide from the sentinels until they go away. Totally valid. Just to go like, oh, bye-bye, and you dig a little cave, you have a little cutout so they don't have line of sight, they're not likely to follow you into the cave, and generally that's enough to get away from them. Alright, so we want chromatic metal, so I'm going to add my copper to make 30 chromatic metal. If you're wondering, they're larger and more efficient refiners in this. It's just the one I have. So it wants me to put a base computer down to claim a site for construction, but here's the thing. This planet is full of hostile sentinels. I don't want to live here or even have my starter base here, so I'm going to take off and go to a planet that isn't trying to kill me constantly. Oh, yep. Hello, sentinel. Oh, another warning to new players is if the sentinels want to kill you, do not hop in your ship and think you can fly away. They will deploy spaceships to fight you instead. Lose your tail first and then take off. Because if you don't, they will send ships to fight you. And I find in my experience, killing sentinels on foot is a lot easier than killing sentinels in a ship, unless your ship is really well outfitted. So, you've been warned. So if like that sentinel got close enough to get angry with me, I would need to like hide in a cave until it went away. So in order to trigger the next part of Awakening, which I'm still on, we're getting close to the end of Awakening. I'm probably like 3/4 done. I just need to go to like build a base computer somewhere. So I'm gonna go to this metallic planet and throw the base computer down there.
Technology recharge.
That was a nice surprise when they updated it and you didn't notice. Yeah, you probably got a starship patrol trying to stomp you to death, I'm imagining. This looks pretty weird. With any luck, the sentinels aren't pissed here. Yeah, okay, the sentinels are limited. Oh, is this a... This is like the fancy ferret. What, this is a most perfect? Alright, so one of the funny things about the catalog here is it will track some of the best things that you've found. Which is really funny. So in planetary records, this planet that I just landed on has a paradise quotient of 79.3%. It's the nicest planet I found so far. the Paradise Quotient is based upon Sentinel activity, weather, any other like hostile. Lush planets and Paradise planets are going to be in the mid to upper 90s. But it's just funny that this planet that has like no atmosphere is the nicest one I've found so far. I think it registered as nice because... Oh, is that an animal? I think that's an animal. Yes, it is. Because there's almost no Sentinel activity here, and there's no storms because there's like no atmosphere. All right, let's toss our base computer down. And then when you use the base computer, it will give you the option to claim. And basically what it checks is it checks to make sure that there are no other bases within, I think, 1,000 units of your base. And then if not, it gives you like 300 unit wide area that is your own to own. There's ways to expand that area that I might get into later, but yeah, that's the TLDR of bases. Which means now nobody can build anywhere within 1,000 units of this base computer. However, I wouldn't really worry about that because I'm the only one that's been on this planet ever, because I'm the one that discovered it like 10 seconds ago. Accessing log from previous user. Entry follows. Storm sweeping across, but construction supplies low. Depositing shelter plans while need to, back soon. So it's giving me blueprints to make basic ship structures. The sad, funny thing about this is the ship structure that I need to build is going to be made of carbon, and I have kind of a severe lack of carbon on this planet, but I might have some extra carbon built up in my inventory now. So let's throw a very simple 1x1 box together to satisfy this quest.
Incoming storm.
Oh, I was wrong. This planet is not without an atmosphere. It has atmosphere, and there's a storm coming. Lucky me. There we go. There's my little...
Base computer online.
Oh, I put the roof on the wrong spot. If you're wondering, you get full refund, so it's not a big deal. There we go. There. Now I have a roof. Alright. With the base computer online, next step. Accessing log from previous user. Additional archives recovered. Construction largely a success. Recovered salvage data from nearby. Plans log. Scans indicate additional subterranean devices. Beginning search. Whoever recorded these logs evidently had some success. I have access to the plans and perhaps I can learn from their efforts. So I just gained a construction research unit, which requires magnetized ferrite, which I happen to be next to a giant node of underground. Just as long as the sentinels aren't watching me. Alright, and this also requires carbon nanotube. Yeah, I still have plenty of carbon from grabbing it. So here's the construction research unit. So this construction research unit allows you to unlock like additional base components for the most part. So accessing it here, you can see some of the unlock tree. It's not all of it though. So users should recover salvage data from buried technology with the analysis visor. So there is buildable technology, which is teleport modules, biofuel reactors, so on and so forth. I'm not going to read through them all. And then there are also structures. So here are all the timber constructions that you can do. There's stone, there's alloy, And that's not the full list. I should also add. So then it wants me to... Whoops. What's it telling me to do? I think get the teleporter. Yeah. So research the base teleport module. Got it. And then it wants me to rename my base. Thank you for tuning in to No Man's Sky, which originally streamed live on Twitch August 19th and August 20th. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below, and if you have any feedback, you can let me know there as well. But please keep in mind that this was a mini-series, so all of the content has already been recorded and changes cannot be made. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to help to influence the games that I play, please join me on Discord. A link to Discord can be found in the description of this video and also on my website. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to all of my Twitch subscribers and Twitch viewers that turned out to the marathon, my Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow space explorers.